Good afternoon and welcome to Sharpened Perspectives, episode 21. My name is Jim Vandeveld of HMC Knives / HMC Manufacturing, and I am joined today by my co-hosts, Ken Spaulding of Zodiac Engineering and Alex Steingraber of SPK Unlimited. What's going on, guys?
What's up?
Not a whole lot. We probably should preface this by saying those of you that are listening probably realize that we skipped episode 20, an episode that was promised to you many moons ago, which was the episode was to detail my transition into Fusion 360. And I'll be honest, we recorded it, and it was long and it was chaotic, but we had a conundrum and some complications with Riverside, the software that we use to record our podcasts, where my uploaded screen recordings did not in fact get uploaded, and so we do not have that to share at this time. Ken is working diligently with Riverside to perhaps be able to salvage that recording, but we may end up having to record episode 21 or 20. So we moved on to episode 21, and when we have 20 figured out, we will release it at that time. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, it'll be cool either way. Even if we got to go back and redo it, I think it'll be pretty much the same thing, but maybe a little bit more streamlined. But
yeah, I think, cool. It'll be
2 hours. It was over 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be one of those things where now, if we do have to re-record it, it's going to be a lot less of like, hey, look for this, because I'll kind of know what we're going to be searching through, and like we can kind of give a briefer overview rather than waiting for me to like compute what you're saying and look at it on the screen. But
it was cool though.
It was cool, and it was cool to go through the setup and everything. I'm feeling a lot better about it than I probably was beforehand. When I have like some kind of a cut on my knee here, I'm looking forward to diving in even more. I actually have Brian Brown. You guys know Brian Brown, right? So you know who he is. He was behind me at CCKS. He is actually coming up. He bought a new super mini mill. So I don't know if you noticed, but Haas eliminated the larger size from the lineup. They got rid of the the bigger work envelope.
It's not up anymore since they dropped their new gen minis.
And the UMC 350, right?
Yeah, they dropped that too.
Yeah, so it was just kind of a bummer. Brian Brown just bought a new super mini mill. And it's actually, he bought it like maybe a month ago, and I think it's actually done being built and on its way to him already. But he is going to come up at the end of the month or the beginning of February for 5 days. And I'm going to pick him up in Cleveland, and he's going to come to the shop, and we are going to just go over CNC stuff, machine setup, and how I do things, and some programming stuff. And he's just kind of get a crash course on manufacturing with a Haas. And Carver is actually going to come up too, because we're going to prototype a new model. And while he's here, so Brian will get exposure to that, but then he'll also get some Fusion stuff, just because, Carver's been using Fusion for whatever 6 or 8 months. He's still got shit he's figuring out, but he's at least capable enough to like be able to kind of give Brian some overview and insight in how to use it. So I'm going to try and get a little bit more proficient by then also, so that we can all kind of operate. I'd love to like design and program the new model in Fusion while Carver's here, so we're kind of all operating from the same platform, rather than like, you guys can go fuck with Fusion over there while I do some Creo shit over here. I don't really want to do that. But yeah, that should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to having those guys up here for 4 or 5 days.
That'll be fun, especially since you said you're getting ahead on everything.
Yeah, so that's kind of what's nice is I'm looking at like the next few months. And there's some traveling I want to do. I'm going to go back to Indiana with my buddy Logan and do some more forging, make some more Damascus, and try to continue my proficiency with that. We have a family trip. Yeah, exactly. We have a family trip to Florida the last week of March or the very beginning of April. We've never done this before, but like 4 of my buddies and their families local to me, like we're all renting a house in Florida and driving down to Florida for a week and just like staying for a week on the beach with all of our kids and be like a shit show, because there's going to be like probably like 12 or 15 kids, and then like us as adults. So with that happening, and then it's just potentially some other stuff that is going to require me to be outside of the shop. It's been fun as I've been starting to prep the drop knives every week to realize that if I am able to take advantage of some lights out machining, if I could get ahead on some of these projects, like I don't want to release a bunch of redundant knives, but having, if I'm making 5, if I was to make 10 one week and then set 5 aside of something and then have it available in like 6 months or whatever to like, hey, let's dust these off. And that way, when I'm out of town, like this sale can still happen, can kind of stay consistent with that. I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm going to start adding in some composite stuff and some different blade finishes and stuff like that. So it's the process, essentially the last 4 drops of knives, aside from like the configuration of the lock, have been very similar. And so I got to see how my schedule is affected by starting to add in some other requirements. But so far, yeah, it's been pretty smooth.
Nice. Yeah, that or make 6 every week and then every 5 weeks take a week off. If you're only going to drop 5 a week or whatever too.
Yeah, I don't really have the ambition. It would be a lot more work to start to release more. And I kind of had said to people from the onset, like, I don't have much of a desire to like try and flood anything. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I was thinking still drop the same amount that you're doing now. If you're doing 5 every week, make 6 every week.
Yeah.
And then on the 6th week or whatever. And then every 6 weeks or whatever, you got 5 to drop without having to do anything. Take some time off.
No, yeah, that's smart. It's been really invaluable having I'll call him my employee, a buddy of mine that's been coming up here every day for like 3 or 4 hours. And like actually these last knives, the ones that were dropping this Friday, like he handled everything. He did locks, he did detents, he did all finishes, he did sizing of hardware, blasting and blackening of hardware. Like he did everything. And we've been kind of working towards that, like transition of like, hey man, let's make you capable of doing all these like final processes. And then I just sharpen them at the end because he's not really there. But it's been cool for him. And I think validating to kind of learn those things and to kind of be a part of it. He's been around the shop all the time since I built it anyways. And so it's been kind of cool to see his evolution. And I mentioned this in my story when I was kind of recapping my 2023, was that I really want to focus this year on like subduing my control freak nature and like really just accepting that other people are capable of like helping, and like that I don't have to shoulder everything, and that like you can trust other people. I know Alex with your girlfriend, having her and helping you with stuff. And, I don't necessarily want to have 5 employees, but like to have one person that you can trust to do some things is pretty fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge help too. Yeah. Especially for stuff like that. Like my wife was out here when I was doing the slingshot stuff before Makers, and she built all the slingshots, did all the bands and did all that shit. And it's like, dude, that was like 2 hours. And she did it in the house and watched her shows and did that. And it's like, that would have been like 2 hours of my time that I needed to work on the datums.
Dude. Yeah.
And she came back out with a platter full of stuff, and it was like, they were all of them perfect. So,
it's like that
nice.
happening is like as magical to me as like the first time I made parts and I put material in and like finished parts came out. And it's like, whoa, that's like wizardry. I didn't have to do that, and like now it's been so long, I take it for granted. But now, I have everything laid out on a cart. All the parts are ready to be finished, and Mike's here for 2 hours or 3 hours, and I'm running parts, or I'm inside and I turn around and I'm like, oh shit, those are done. That's fucking awesome. And he's like,
dude, it's so good.
We could probably try and make 10 next week. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to that. But if you're, if that'll help you learn, like, yeah, we could probably make some more.
Do whatever you want, dude. You're here for 4 hours. Do whatever the fuck you want. Do as much as possible, please. Yeah.
He was like a little stressed. Like I thought he fucked up a couple of the detents when he was drilling them, because I still do them manually. But I kind of was like, it was the best of both worlds, right? Where we thought he scrapped them. And I said, hey man, like you have to learn, like, yeah, it sucks, scrapping blades and stuff like that. But, detent play is not cool. And I started like playing with it, and I'm like, this has like a weird, like double open where it like hits you pop it and detent plays out to a hard stop. And then it plays again, it hits and it comes out. And I'm like, I was like kind of looking, I needed like a loop or something to be able to see. But yeah, he just didn't drill the detent hole deep enough, and it was just sitting in the fucking drill point. and there was no like wall for the ball to engage on. And I'm like,
Oh,
I know I
like
told
perfect.
you to be careful, but you have to fucking drill like at least 20 thousandths down into this blade. So I just went in there and quickly like opened up all the holes, and all the detents were fucking perfect. And I'm like, well, that was cool. It gave me a humility check where I wanted to be like, you just fucking scrapped all these blades, you know? And I was like, no, this is training. And then they weren't scrapped. And so he didn't feel bad. And I had to fucking figure out how to not be an asshole. And then we both won. So I was like, that was cool. Like, I want to be like, I've set hundreds of detents and you've set 0. I can't believe you fucked this up, you dumb motherfucker. You know? But,
yeah, no.
And then I was like, no, like, everything has a learning curve. And fortunately, we learned our shit on somebody else's dime. Alex obviously was taking all of his own risks, but, you know, I always appreciate it when somebody's patient with me when I'm trying to figure something out. And then, you know, when the shoe's on the other foot, you got to remember that shit.
No. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I was doing apps and manufacturing engineer stuff and big shop, you know, or going in other people's shops doing that, it's like, you got to be super patient with shit. And of course, everybody that messes stuff up always wants to try and blame it on something else most of the time. You know, it's pretty easy to kind of see through all that stuff and really figure it out. But for me, it wasn't like, my goal isn't to get you in trouble. It's to figure out what the hell happened.
Yeah.
Figure out why it happened and see how we can eliminate that.
No, man, it's always the night shift. The night shift always. They're the worst.
Third shift fucked it up.
Fucking saw guy.
No, I realize now, like, back to some of the like the bullshit explanations that I had trying to cover up stuff I fucked up. And then like if somebody like understands the process as a whole and is like, you start telling them what happened and they're like, that's not what happened. And you're like, no, I swear that's what happened. I promise. And they're like, no, that's not what happened.
No.
Like, I know there's 3 things that happened and you're not going to cop to any of them, but what you said definitely didn't happen. You know, or like my favorite one was, which honestly, this wasn't bullshit, but it was like the boy that cried wolf type of thing. Like 1 out of 10,000 programs where like the posted code is read weird by the machine and it does something and fucking crashes. And so, and then you set another part up and hit the green button and it works fine. And you're like, I have no explanation as to what just happened. And then nobody ever fucking believes you, you know, but like, you know, cause you utilize that sometimes when like, maybe you did something stupid and you're like, I don't know. But then when it really does, and it's like, fuck, I wish I wouldn't have fucking pulled that ace in my pocket out for that thing that it didn't fucking matter. Cause anyways, it's been good having him. And it's tough because we're having a conversation, which is like, you know, I'd love to work up to becoming like, you know, full time or whatever. And I have to kind of hit pause and say, hey man, like I can't commit to any of that stuff right now. We're figuring out like how this workflow works and how the market reacts to receiving knives. And, you know, I can't just all of a sudden commit to hiring you, you know, and paying you thousands of dollars a month for like, maybe I don't need you this week. You know, if you want to be a part of this, you know, you can, but the business is on its own track. And like, I can't adjust the pace of the business's growth to like match one person's needs. You know, we have to be flexible to what the business asks for. And so he got that. I kind of mentioned he's kind of in between jobs right now, and he has the opportunity to get another job that would be like a 40-hour-a-week gig. And I kind of made mention of the fact like, hey, if this is something you're really interested, man, you know, like a lot of guys like myself included, I worked 2 jobs for a long time, like moonlighting doing this, and it was fine, you know, and like it allowed you to learn and have fun without the stress of like living off the money that you're making doing that, you know. And said if you work that other job for 6 months and all of a sudden this turns into something else and it makes sense for you to quit, like you can quit. You know, you're not the first person to quit another job after 6 months for a better opportunity, but you know, you have to be patient for this to develop. You know, we don't want to put undue stress on this process just because, you know, you don't want to take on another job for 6 months. So I'm going to reevaluate in the middle of the year and kind of see how things go. And I really hope that, you know, he's somebody that works out for this and that I can bring him on more. You know, and to close this up, I'll allow you guys to talk eventually here, I think. But we haven't recorded in a few weeks, and I've been having all these weird moments of reflection lately. But
we've just all been fucking busy too. Christmas, and New Year's,
I know, Christmas and work, and just you've been sick and all that. But I forgot what I was gonna say. You guys just got a late Christmas gift, is me having a brain fart. You know, I can't talk anymore. Shit.
You're saying you're going to wrap this up with something.
Yeah, and
Rewind.
I can't remember what that thing was. It was about him and about working. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Either
Anyways.
way. So what do you guys got going on this week? I mean, it's Tuesday. Wow, we're recording on a Tuesday, not a Wednesday. We're really ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
I'm just
eventually we'll get back to Mondays.
Yeah, honestly, I really like when we used to record on Mondays, and it was Wednesdays nice. For a while. Monday gives you a little bit of a buffer, and actually, it's been nice because Mondays and Tuesdays are the days that I don't go to the gym, and we do the gym thing at like 11, from like 11 to 12:15, and then Mike's been coming over at like 12:30 or 1. So it's been harder for me on Wednesdays to prioritize getting in here and recording, just because like our prime recording time is now taken up. So if we can switch to Mondays or Tuesdays pretty regularly, that would help my schedule a lot also. But
yeah, Mondays were cool. Not only did it give me more time to prep everything and get it all uploaded and write all the shit for it, but when we first started doing this, it was like, all right, what's the plan for this week? You haven't done anything yet. It's the beginning of Monday. Let's plan the week out. You know, we kind of both go through it, and Alex now too, and figure out really what we're going to do. Starting on Tuesday or especially Wednesday, it's like my week's already set in motion right now, and I may be going down the wrong path.
Yep.
You know, so
it's
nice to bounce stuff
about.
off you guys. Yeah, it's nice to bounce stuff off you guys, because it's like, all right, what are we going to actually do this week? And then next week, hey, did you get all that shit done? Kind of thing. So
yeah,
I feel like there's a little bit more accountability because of that. You know, doing it on Monday, first thing on Monday.
That's a cool perspective. Cool, so. That's a very sharp perspective to have, Ken. You like that? Hell yeah.
That was good, dude.
What are you working on, Alex? I don't remember. Did you get all your knives for the pre-order shipped out?
Yes, they all got shipped out. One almost got lost in the mail, but we figured it out. Didn't quite get lost, so that was good. But everything is out. Everything's great. And then now I'm starting to work on components for the new Gen 4, as it were. The new contoured scales.
The Gen 4C.
The Gen 4C.
I like that, man.
So yeah, backspacers are done. Clips are almost done. I just got a bunch more clips to run. Yeah, I was gonna run blades today, as far as like the pivots, the drilling the pivots and reaming the pivots. But then when I put the shoulder screws in, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't compensate for the new thickness that I have. So I quickly went on McMaster and ordered the 3/8 inch long ones instead of the 5/16. The 5/16 will probably work. Go ahead.
How thick are your blades now?
These ones are at 0.156 right now.
Nice. Oh, 5.
And then they're going
to standard.
So they're going to get ground down to 100 thou later on.
Oh.
No. Yeah, I didn't opt to go with a thicker blade. I just opted to not double disc grind right after water jet. So it's going to be water jet, machine everything, heat treat, then double disc.
Or you could just leave them at 156 and don't grind them and leave all the mill scale on them.
I could.
And then bump the price up a little bit.
I thought about doing that, bumping the price up significantly because of mill scale, because it's cooler.
You got to pass your deficiencies in the process onto your customers as cost.
Yeah, I mean, some of them already think I do. Depends who you talk to.
Well, when you make that many knives, there's always an opinion. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
The opinion?
Go ahead.
I think as we found, at least for me, the majority of those opinions are unfortunately from guys who don't actually make anything themselves, and the guys who actually make stuff know this shit isn't actually that easy, so they don't ever give people shit about it. It's like, if you actually made anything yourself, you would know. Yeah.
So I actually had a buddy come in to town over this last weekend to make a knife. We made a 2.9 transient 2.9 together, and he had selected some fat carbon, and I had previously like profiled the scales, done op 1. I had his blade ready to be ground. I had like heat treated surface grind, and it was post heat treat machined. I had like his clip and his spacer, but we set the lock up and detent together. We ground his blade together and all that. And he just had like no experience with machining or anything, and like he just assumed, like most people, like, oh, you have these expensive machines, so the parts were made. And then, because I had said to him, I said, I think it'll probably take like 4 to 5 hours if we're kind of like casually finishing a knife together from machined parts. And he kind of like didn't say anything, but later he like admitted, like, when you said that I was kind of like, the fuck are we going to spend 4 hours or 5 hours working on? And he's like, I just assumed they were ready to snap together out of the machine and done. And he's like, I watched you take that knife apart and put it back together like literally 50 times between detent and lockup and blade grinding and marking this and marking that. And like, and he's like, I have the completely different respect. He's like, I have to admit, he's like, when I first saw your price tag for your knives, I was like, that's pretty steep. Like, most people have sticker shock, but he's like, especially when you're utilizing a machine, like that seems like quite a lot of money. And I said, I mean, a lot of people think that, man, but like, what's 4 or 5 or 6 hours of your time worth on top of like the 3 hours to machine all the components? Like, and then you're not figuring in abrasives. And I said, you're watching me grind a blade and I'm looking at it and I'm like doing quick math at the edge versus the height of the spine. And I'm like, okay, if this climbs 10 thousandths and I remove, 2 thousandths off the edge thickness at that time, I know that if I take off this, it's going to go to that. Then I have to switch to this side. It's like, you're watching me make these like quick, 3-place decimal, decisions as I'm grinding, but like that has come from grinding hundreds and hundreds of blades by hand. It was like that when you're looking at the cost of things, like this is such a trite thing to reflect to, but you're not paying for the knife. You're paying for the 8 years of time that I spent being able to make this knife efficiently,
the experience.
And so he's like, I loved it because now every time I show this knife to somebody and they ask me how much it costs and I tell them, I can say, dude, I watched this guy work on this fucking thing for a day. Like, you have no idea what goes into making these things, and they can like kind of vouch for your effort. And so it was really cool. I'd made knives in front of people before, but I've made them in front of like knife collectors that kind of understood the process. Like, this is a guy that's never had a custom knife before. We know each other through archery, and like, he would never spend $1,000 or more on a knife. And so, like, to see somebody from that perspective with no understanding go through all the nuance and like really just kind of like shoot you a text afterwards, it was like, that was fuck. I mean, he recorded videos of everything I did, like sending them to his dad, to his brother, to his buddies. Like, he's like, I wanted to like be able to have this whole process to share with people. It was like such a special experience. And like, it was a really cool, like, we grilled up some steaks and, we like kind of like just kind of chilled sometime. It was just a really cool, like fun process. And I really enjoyed it.
That's rad.
Oh, yeah.
I had a buddy come over a couple days ago too, kind of same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Guy I met on Instagram through some stuff that I'm kind of starting to get into, and hit him up. He ended up being local, so he came over a couple weeks ago and we were bullshitting about some stuff. And then he's like, hey, I got a slide, can you machine my slide? I'm like, sure, come over. So he came over the other day and milled his slide, and he was taking pictures and video and doing all that stuff.
Man.
So it was
really cool. It's the small shit like that like
you get a new appreciation for all that stuff. Yeah,
dude, for sure. And like, it makes you like, I still remember how I felt when I was in 6th grade and I saw Transworld skateboarding for the first time. And I saw a dude on an oversized pole doing a board slide. And like, I had no exposure to skateboarding before that, but I remember watching and going through like this magazine in just complete awe, of like that. And another one I remember was Transworld BMX, TJ Lavin in his backyard doing a 360 table, just completely like flat as a pancake. And like,
effortlessly
looking at that and being like you can do that on a bike, you know what I mean? Like, and little did I know that it would become like the most important thing to me for the next like 15 years. But like those moments of complete and utter lack of understanding, experiencing it, and then I realized that like, this is what that is for some people. They have no idea what this is. They think it's cool, and they're like, wow, I get to completely go through this whole process, something I don't know, and like, just the stoke factor is so high. And so, I want to provide that more of that. I mean, that was kind of when I built the shop, my whole initial plan, and I've seen a couple of makers do this since then, and I was kind of like, damn, I feel like that was my idea, but I never capitalized. Kudos on them for capitalizing. But like, to have like a customer every quarter where you have like a lottery, because I mean, obviously a lot of our customers have money, and to say, hey, if you want to do this for the cost of the knife plus $2,000 or something, you fly in, I'll pick you up from the airport, you put you up, and like you can build your knife. Like you ahead of time, let me know what you want, and I'll get like the materials and like basic machining done. But like we can spend 2 days, like eat a bunch of good food, chill in the shop, like finish your knife, and like give you like an experience where like, yeah, you're paying a premium for it, but it like lets, you know, people have that. And I've seen like Nick Swan has like, shoot, he built like a 3-bedroom like maker house next to his shop where guys can crash, or like maker camp, or like Lee Williams does it with the kick shop, you know, where guys are the grind house where they'll go down for like 4 or 5 days and they'll make stuff. And then he has guys like Jeremy Marsh or whoever come down and like participate in like the kick shop for that weekend. And I've just been seeing guys do that more and more, but I always thought that would be like a cool way, like quarterly, to like reinvigorate the process and like, you know, get you some social interaction and some exposure. So that may still be something that I do, but definitely seems fun.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. It was kind of the same thing when you came out. I mean, I didn't put you up or anything.
Oh, yeah.
Hung out at the shop for a week, and you did it, and Rotten did it. And
yeah.
Yoni,
I mean, it worked out
did
for
it,
me.
yeah.
That's right. Yoni did it too. It worked out for me just because I had other buddies in the area, and I just like rented a car and like I could cruise back and forth. Yeah. But that was kind of like an ice-breaking moment for us because like we were friends, but like we'd never met each other. And like, you know, you're not going to invite some stranger into your house. Like, hey, come out, I'll help you. You can hang at my shop, but like, you ain't going to fucking hang out with my wife and kid. You know, actually, you didn't, I don't think you didn't have any kids at that time, the first time, but, you know, we still met up. Fuck, we didn't even get dinner together at night or anything. It was just like, all right, 5 o'clock.
I don't think we did shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like,
that was
and
cool,
it was more
man.
like you were running job shop stuff and like, well, here's the shirt line. We'll program some stuff. And I was like with Paulo in the front room, like in SolidWorks, like designing the Savage. And I would like blank out parts and like I knew how to grind and shit, like my grinding jig. And so I'd like go to the grinder and like we went to True Grit and got materials, went to Sackin and got materials, got belts and shit. And I just kind of like blanked some stuff out. You guys like took me through the folder process of like drilling and reaming holes manually and what to tap and shit. And then like I kind of just did what I knew about fixed blades. I just applied to the finishing of the folder, and I think we like finished it on like the very last day. But
yeah, I just needed a clip.
I actually have that.
You said you got it on the bench. Huh?
It's right there, and I am not going to bring it out because it's fucking ugly.
Dude, I'm so bummed. So you made me one of those Savage folders and fucking sent it to me, and my truck got broken into, and they fucking stole that shit out of my truck. Jacked. It was the one day I never leave anything in the truck, dude. Never leave anything in my vehicles, just period. And I went to a buddy shop and I had all my tools in a crate, and I had my fucking Starrett levels in there, 2 of them, the 199Zs, the fucking super dialed 15-inch Starrett levels. Because I went to a shop, he got a Fadal, and he's like, hey, can you help me do some training and help me level the machine and all this shit? All right. So I took stuff out of my toolbox at work and got all this stuff in the crate, and I went there, I did it, and I came back and I'm like, I'm going to bring this stuff back to work, but I don't want to lug this shit out at 5 a.m. So I left 0%. It in the back seat of the truck. Had some shoes in there, had fucking tools. Yeah, and they broke into my truck. And I think it was probably a local mechanic or something because they meticulously took parts off the truck, the fucking driver's side mirror and a couple things. So I think they were probably working on a customer's car. And they didn't
just break into your truck, but they jacked your fucking car parts?
They broke the lock open on the driver's side, and then they fucking took parts off my truck. They tried to start it. The ignition was all gutted. And they used my fucking tools, I'm assuming, to take parts off of it. And the screwdriver was stuck in the ignition and all the shit, but they couldn't do it because there's a pass lock on it. And you got to have the continuity through the key to get it to start, or it just starts and shuts down.
Dude.
And then
jacked your shit with your own shit.
Dude, and then they took I had a can of WD-40 and they sprayed that shit. The whole truck was coated in WD-40.
What the fuck?
So when the cops come,
insult or injury.
I'm like, dude, there's prints on the fucking car right here. These are not my prints. There's prints on the door. No, we don't do prints anymore. We check for DNA. I'm like, dude, there's literally fucking prints on the car, dude. Just take these prints, please. No, we don't do that.
We don't do that.
We check for DNA. I'm like, well, they sprayed WD-40 all over the whole fucking truck.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anything out of here. Yeah, that's why they do it. I'm like, cool. So they use my shit to take my parts and use my fucking whole can of WD-40. It was just, a whole mess.
You should have just lit the WD-40 on fire and fucking torched that fucking thing. Like, I don't know what happened. They fucking stole my shit and lit my car on fire.
Those fuckers.
Done.
Yeah, and of
Damn,
course,
dude,
you know,
that's-
it was so annoying, man. That was when I lived in an apartment. They gated parking garage, and the cameras didn't happen to
Damn.
work. You know, it was the whole situation
What?
was just stupid. The cops didn't do shit. The
Dude,
apartment complex didn't do shit. Nobody did
only
anything.
in
But anyways,
California.
yeah, my Savage folder was in there, and they fucking jacked it.
That was like an acid
Annoying.
stonewash blade. I did like the OxyClean darkening
Yeah.
on it, and that was
It
a
was
cool,
cool.
knife. I look back
That's where
now.
it all
every
started
time-
for
actually,
those
I have,
folders.
yeah, they're like so big and chunky now, but like whatever, it was cool at the time, you know. It was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it was definitely the Wild West back then. Knife making was different 8 years ago than it is now. That's for sure.
It was way different. Everybody just, at least, I mean, still kind of, but everything was just so. They were all gatekeepers. Everybody seemed like.
Yeah, it's a
So,
good way to put
not
it,
so
man.
much anymore.
Everybody had their 2 cents. Now you can do whatever you like. Anything you do, it's just if it's a problem, the next day it's gone. The media cycle's ridiculous, and
Yeah.
people have done heinous stuff in this space, and a month later, there's no repercussions. You know, it's just
Mhm.
A lot of times they're just
unless
doing it again. and
Alex
everybody
is
forgot about it.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to get Alex on the case. He'll sniff it out.
I got knives to make. Well, subpar knives to make, you know?
Piece of shit. I mean, I'll say this. Your knives suck so bad that I've like carried mine every day for the last like 5 months. I use it all
Yeah.
the time. I've used it all the time. It's a good knife, man. Like I really enjoy it. I even clean it and take care of it. I've sharpened it
Dude.
twice. Like
So you don't know how many stories I've heard of people saying this knife is literally kicked out, you know, $1,000 knives out of my pocket, and I'm just like, well, thank you. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
really know what else to say, but yeah, no, thank you.
thank you
I've
is
been
all
carrying mine too.
like or fist bump emojis. Those are good. I send those a lot to people. You can
I
only
was
take
just telling Alex
compliments
this.
so many times, you know.
I know. I was just telling him before you got in here that I finally cleaned my knife because it had tape
Nice.
and shit all over it. I finally cleaned it,
Hell
and then
yeah.
yesterday there's a bush in the alley when we pull in. This bush just constantly, like, I have to pull around, and it's starting to get so big it touches the car. So I chopped the bush down this morning with this thing, and
Nice.
it of course had glue sap inside it, whatever, like one of those kind of
Nice.
white gluey pus. So now it's got shit all over it again, but
Whatever.
I'll
Mine's
clean
all
it again.
fucked up. When I was working on my truck last week, I was just laying on that pocket clip on the concrete, just dragging that fucker through it. So it's all jagged up, man. Even I was using it to cut some shit, toss it on the concrete, whatever. It's all fucking gnarled up, but whatever.
I
That's
thought
what
somebody
it's for.
keyed my car once because there were scratches right by, like, next
So
to
you
the door
stabbed
handle.
him?
And I thought somebody was keying the car. I'm like, what the fuck? And then one day I realized that when I'm squeezing through the cars in a parking lot to get into my car, it's my pocket clip. So I'm scratching my own car with a pocket clip.
Way to
God
go.
damn it.
Yeah,
Thought
it's funny
about,
that
sorry.
you can go. You can go.
I was
I'll
going
allow
to say,
it.
I thought about, well, somebody should. I don't have time. They should make a 3D print of, like, you stick it over a pocket clip or some shit so you don't scratch
Yo.
cars.
Not a pocket clip, not a pocket protector, but a pocket clip protector.
Yeah, pocket clip protector.
I like it, man.
Get on
I still haven't even set my printer up yet. It's been sitting
Dude,
Oh, you got it? You didn't even tell us.
like
You got it like a month ago, at least.
Yeah, like it was January. It was the 14th of December. So whatever, like 3 weeks ago. So one of these days I'm
Bro.
gonna set it up and start doing something with it. But I actually,
Yeah,
I'll be honest. That's one of the reasons why I'm getting this new workbench, is so that I can have a dedicated 3D printer bench, because I currently don't have any real bench.
Gonna need
space.
it. You're gonna need a dedicated one for that.
It's
That's-
an 8-foot like U-line style steel with like the MDF top or whatever.
nice.
Yeah.
I wish I
Found it
still
on
had one. Man. I
Marketplace.
had one.
$75, and like it's
Mhm.
literally like 2 miles from me. I'm just gonna go pick it up and set it up and get some black carpet on top of it and be good to go.
I got one
That
of those
printer
on-
is like the rapids go so fast that it just moves literally everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you like
Just
bolt
be-
it down to the table or anything? I haven't.
I mean, it's got rubber feet on it and stuff, but like it doesn't move on the table. But like if your table has any sort of play in it, it's gonna move it.
I'll put some reinforced L brackets or something on there. If this thing, it shouldn't have any play. I mean, it's got steel legs and steel bracing, so I'm assuming it should be good.
Those tables are so heavy too, especially with that thick top.
Yeah.
I got one on
it's
next
not as
door
heavy as
app.
the
Like
Listas,
$60. Yeah.
Nice. Dude, there's a lot of shit, especially Alex in our area. Like you can, if you Google Lista cabinets or workbenches, you can find some shit, man. I'll tell you.
I need to go back on there because in my area,
Right.
you Google it, and there's one guy that buys everything up at all the auctions and then sells it for double the price. And I'm like, you mother.
Dude, marketplace, man. Or I'm telling you, it's there. Like even if I've like convinced myself that I'll drive 100 miles to pick up just about anything. Like right now, I'm going to get another Rockwell tester. Like I found one for $150, so Wilson, and
Nice.
like perfectly functioning, and like I have one of the handheld Ames ones, that sit on the stand or whatever, and I'd like to have a stand-up Rockwell tester again. Fuck, you remember that Starrett one that I had that got smashed?
Fuck, the one that Joe
Were
sent
you
you?
a part of that at all? Yes, the one that Joe sent me.
Joe found it out
I had
here.
this-
Built a
it was
fucking crate and everything, and it got destroyed.
It was a perfect Starrett, like $5,000 Rockwell tester. It was like premium, and he got it for like
It was like $1,200 or something, right?
It was like $750 plus $300 to ship it, and he took it to the store, and they put it in a crate, and they packed it in foam, like the spray foam inside the box, and banded it all together. And somebody must have hit this thing with a forklift going 100 miles a fucking hour. And they completely smashed the entire top of the Rockwell tester. Like, completely fucking obliterated.
Destroyed it.
And it arrived, and I was like, Jesus Lord, what the fuck? I was like, I don't even know what to do right now. So I called the fucking UPS store that he used, and they were like, oh, we saw it was insured. We'll refund you for the cost of the item, but we will not reimburse you the $300 for the shipping, which is what fucked this up in the first place. And so then I tried to contact Starrett. Like they have like a rebuild thing on their website, and I submitted a form, and I called them and left them a message. And I'm like, even if it's $1,500 to refurbish this, like it's still less than half of the price of it new. It was so fucking cherry, and they never got back to me. And that thing sat underneath my bench at work. Like I had it in the back because I was like, when I'm going to ship it out, it's going to ship from a loading dock. So I'm just going to leave it here. It's so fucking heavy. And it sat there for like 2 years. And then when I quit my job, I fucking just pitched it. I'm like, I don't have anything to do with this. Like, I'm just letting this go. It was fucking destroyed. It sucked. That thing was
You gotta
awesome.
find some pictures of that and post them.
Of the destroyed. I have pictures for sure, dude. Oh, it was fucking heartbreaking, man. Heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was like a
and
creamy
even
white
Joe had
one
to
too.
like, yeah, it was a cream
It was a
white
nightmare
with like
for both of you guys for months. Yeah,
it was chaotic, and it was like he offered, and I was like, I'm not saying no, but yeah, I think he regretted being helpful in that moment for sure. And then he had to like collect the money. It was like a big problem, And I'm like, note to self, like I probably should have been like, here's $200, build a 2x4 crate for it, like. Band it up, make it solid. Like, but at that time, 5 years ago, I wasn't thinking like that. I'm like, oh yeah, put it in a box on the skid with the spray foam inside. It'll be good. It only weighs like 100 pounds. The load won't shift or anything. Yeah, no, somebody fucking speared that thing with a forklift for sure.
they ran
They
it
like
over with
office space
killdozer.
when they beat that fucking printer to death in Office Space. I think that's what
the crate looked like.
It was bad.
Well, it was a box, just like they beat it with a bat. And like just parts, the dial was hanging off of it. The whole outside was cracked off. The weights were all over them. It was fucking horrible. One of the like most traumatic experiences, of like my machining life was like receiving this I was so excited for it too. You know what I mean? When you're like, like, oh, the tracking says it's out for delivery, and like it shows up, and like, and of course I wasn't there when like my coworker, because I had it delivered to my job. I wasn't there like when they received it, and it was like a young apprentice kid that just like wasn't paying attention. He's like, "Hey, you got a package back here. It looks like it's got a little damage though." I'm like, "What?" And I went back, and it was just like a little damage. Like, did you fucking tell the driver? Like, no, I didn't say anything to him. I just figured I'd come get you, and I'm like, oh, now how are we gonna prove that this didn't fucking happen here? Yeah. So whatever. What's done is done. I'll cry about it forever.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I have pictures from around then of another one, just from their website. But I'm looking through my photos to see if I can find pictures of it. It was like that. One of those.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. It was beautiful. Dude.
I'd have to go through here and see, but
the nice black, like, yeah, everything about it was like, it was overbuilt, full, true to Starrett form. And it was like it was made like 1990. So it was like before Starrett became a name. It was like when they actually were good and their shit was worth owning. Damn. Now you just pay twice as much for plastic Starrett branded parts. But yeah, I don't even know if I use anything Starrett anymore. Never use their indicators. Suck. I've never used their indicators. I think my depth mics are Mitutoyo. My digital 0-6 digital mics are Mitutoyo. I think I have a set of Starrett Anvil mics. I think I have a set of Starrett depth mics that are like I have like 0-10 rods for them.
Yeah, I think that's mine too. Mine, I think have 6 though.
But what I don't like about them is their bases are like not very wide on their depth mics. Like I like the Mitutoyos because they have like a fucking 3/4 of an inch wide anvil. You know what I mean? Sit perfect. I really like those
chunky ones.
But yeah. Anyways, so Alex is working on blades. Was gonna ream pivots and lap them, or drill and ream pivot holes in his 10-year thick blades that are gonna be 1 pubic hair wide when he's finished. Ken is, if I recall, he was working on surfacing down datum blades and finish machining them post heat treat. Did you end up finishing that, or where are you at with that?
So I ran into a snag on this one. I've got one together. So this is a Rev A. This one's all together. Detent's real soft. I got to modify the detent on this one, but I don't know if you can see, but the tip is not on this one. So I had some issues with this one. So I didn't end up sending these out for grind. I'm basically just hard milling them a little oversized, getting them all flat because there's a couple thou bow in them. So I cut soft jaws that I have in here, one for each side, and I'm basically putting the high spot in the middle up, so it's laying on the 2 ends. I'll hit them on the grinder a little bit to get it kind of flat, and then laying them down without pushing them or hammering them. Just tighten them in the jaws and flip, face the other side, and they're dead flat. And then I'm doing final finish on the belt, which actually worked out really well. So the flats came out perfect on these things. There's only a couple tenths on flatness, checking them on the plate. Nothing detectable if you try and rock or anything. And
that's actually pretty impressive, honestly.
Yeah. It worked out really well. So I'm like, dude, all right, so I hit up a bunch of local double disc spots. There's one spot that is a vendor of a customer of mine. And I hit them up. They very rarely answer the phone. I finally got through to them, talked to the guy who's the owner and runs the shop and everything. And he was super stoked on everything. Sounded all like he was all into it. He's like, all right, cool. I'll get you a quote right away. Send me an email with all the information. So I'm like, you'll have an email within 5 minutes. So I come back in here, I send him the email, give him all the information, photos, all the details, and no response. This was like maybe a month ago, whenever I got him back from heat treat, few weeks. It was like 2 weeks before Christmas. And so I called again, no response, no answer, no nothing. Left a voicemail, no call back, nothing. Sent emails, literally like they fucking vanished. And which has been kind of common for them because I've called them before over the years and never been able to get a hold of anybody, which is really fucking annoying. I should just go there. But I called another spot that I've used before. They do a lot of knives for a lot of local knife manufacturers, double disc. Last time I had stuff double disc around, it was like $6. They wanted fucking $20 this time piece.
What?
So I'm like, it was like 19 and change. So immediately I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to just do this shit here in the mill. So I made the jaws. I hard milled everything flat. I got them, the faces all flat on this one. And then I was running this one through on the hard mill fixture. Got all the profiles, all the lock geometry, detent, everything is really good. I got to open up the detent a little bit. It's kind of soft. But my axial stock to leave, because the blade's on an angle in the fixture, my axial stock to leave was too low. And when I was cutting the second side, it cut through all the way. So the tab came
always
loose.
Axial stock to leave.
And so the end mill basically they intersected each other and the blade came loose and it fucking cracked the blade up through where the sharpening choil is. And so there's a little witness, and I couldn't actually take the second side to the final thickness. So one side's right where it needs to be all the way up. Second side didn't come up as far. And when it went all the way through, it kind of burned the edge and then cracked. And then I'm like, fuck it. All right, whatever. I can still close the blade. I'm going to cut the tab off. So I was cutting the tab off. And as it was coming through on the last pass, the tab was already loose and the blade moved. And the tip of the blade went into the path of the end mill. And so it cut the tip off. So I just ground it flat. And so anyways, this one is...
dude.
Yeah, I have extras too, but it really deflated me. It took fucking all the wind out of my sails on these. And it was like right before Christmas. And I like, fuck it. I put it together. I threw it on the bench. I'm like, I'm going to come back to this when I'm fresh. And then we did Christmas and New Year's and did all that stuff. And like came back out here this morning and I cleaned everything. I emptied all my chip bins and trash cans and kind of cleaned up and got everything like organized. And like, I'm going to hit these fresh today. So after we record, I'm going to get back on doing blades. Finish the blades up.
Nice.
I told everybody that I'm estimating like middle of January to ship the few pre-orders that I took. And I have extra blades anyways. So I'm still on track. I think I'm still going to be good on that. I would have been done maybe a week early or so if I didn't run into this issue and just kind of lose all my motivation and wish I was not doing this shit at all. But trying to
have a little bit more wherewithal and discipline, you weak-minded bitch.
I know I suck. So, but all the
nah, man, we all get that way, man. Like,
I lost just basically all motivation for everything out here, and I'm just like, you know what, fuck this. I don't want to do any of this stuff right now. I'm gonna take a couple days off, even though I shouldn't have. But
yeah,
like holidays, no one's expecting anything anyways. I don't have anybody, other outstanding work or anything. So,
yeah, I mean, I understand that too. I've never taken an extended period off, but I for sure walked away from it for a day. I think you probably made the right choice, and you're going to be able to expedite with what you have going. I think the biggest win in all of this is that you had those fucking hella warp in your blade and your fucking your jaws solution. When I first saw how you were doing that, I was like, yeah, that ain't going to work. Honestly, I was like, that ain't gonna. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna cut them down in the machine and like hand lap them, and I'm like, yeah, I know about all that, and it fucking worked. And so the fact
it
that
worked
like
perfect,
that worked really well. I would have just been like, all right, here's $600, double disc these down. I don't want to deal with this at all. Like, I don't care how much it costs. Just take care of it. I'm like a piece of shit, But you're like,
the
nope,
problem with that,
I don't have $600 to throw at this right now, so I have to get creative with the solution. And this is what it's going to be. I'm like, ooh.
I got a little bit of time to work on it and figure it out and make it work. And now I know I got that in my back pocket if I need it. So it actually wasn't too bad. I haven't finished all of them, but because I have the solid section in the window and it's the same depth on both sides, as well as having some area down in the bottom here to measure, what I can do, because the bow's it's very minimal. It's only a few thou, but it's enough there that I want to get out. So what I basically did was measure, I'll face it till minimum cleanup on both sides and then measure from the face to the step in the middle. And then I know which side needs to come off more to get it down to the thickness. And I left it 2 thou thick so that I can take that final thou off the feed lines and everything on the belt. So another issue with double disc is like, oh, we can't hold a thou. We can't hold a 16 finish. We can't do any of this stuff. We're going to do a 32 finish and plus or minus a thou. I'm like, well, that's kind of shit. But because I have to take material off like anyways to grain it anyways, I'm like, all right, whatever. 2 thou is no big deal. Finish is no big deal. So when I had them quote everything, I'm like, all right, plus or minus a thou, 32 finish, whatever's fine. Just hold them 2 thou thick. And then I'll finish the size and finish the finish on the belt. So I was planning on doing that anyways.
Double disc them to 10 over and then lap them finished. So it costs a lot more, but it's really easy.
Or I could just honestly, lap all of it.
You could. I mean,
just
they charge you out the
187.
ass.
Yeah, I'll lap 187 down to 160.
Off. They would do it, but I think that I think double. That. I think what Nifty Bar usually charges like $7 or $8 a blade to double disc. Is that congruent with what you found, Alex?
That was what I was expecting.
Well, that's what they used to charge, but I get different pricing now.
Why? Because of volume.
Yeah.
Also,
$5.
Wow, I'm gonna use that in my back pocket. Hey, I heard you give my buddy Alex $5 a blade.
You could also send your blades here, and then we can ship them together.
I was just gonna say you got to bump your thickness up first, though, so all our blades are the same thickness, and then just mix them all up.
Dude, 100,000 blade stock it's all about the 150, dude. 150 is life.
Is that what you finish yours at? Is 150? Yeah, mine are at 160.
Yep.
I only did 160.
Yeah,
so that's
anything.
Because I was using PB washers before at 20 thou, so then my gap was 200.
Yeah.
Made it an even two. So back spacers are 200 thou. Everything was even.
See, I have to hold on to at least 30 thousandths in my jaws when I'm doing spacers, and I was having a really hard time like finding 230 thousandths thick titanium. I could find 220 thousandths really easily, but 230 was really hard to find consistently, and so I switched it to. It used to be 160 and 200, and now it's 150 and 190, and it's worked out perfectly. Sakin almost always has like 220 to 225 thick tie available, so I take advantage of that. But yeah, not even just an 1/8 inch. I mean, the 100 thou cut's nice, but
I might bump it up to 8. I might bump it up to 1/8 inch.
Nice.
Gen 4 is
I might do that.
The dark side.
And it might end up
3/16 thick blades.
Oh my!
3/8, more weight.
7/8. Wait,
plus,
yeah, 3/8.
Plus, the more weight you add on the blade, the easier it is to drop shut. Air quotes.
Well, that's the thing. Is like
it still does it anyways.
It does. It still does.
Gravity.
But yeah, no, I might bump it up. I might bump it up to 1/8 of an inch and see what happens.
200.
Yeah, here's the deal. The reason why it's always been 100 thou is because math. This is way easier.
Yeah.
Oh, also,
and that's how thick my sharks were when I started with the sharks. That's how thick those were, 100 thou, and I just kind of kept everything kind of the same. So I was just like, math's easier.
Yeah, I guess I got used to knife math a long time ago, where it's like you have to be able to, there's like, half a dozen dimensions or stack ups that you need to like know. And you just, I certainly don't make them like people like, 156 thick blade for 5/30 seconds. Like, no, it's 150 or 160. Like, keep it in increments of 10. That is a very like, but I want a 15 thousandths blade to handle gap. And I'm like, no, make it 10 or 20. Like, don't start adding in middle dimensions. Yeah. Just keep it easy by keeping them like, in 10 increments. And, it's like, my 3/16 blade stock. And it's like, you're going to make a fucking 217 thousandths thick back spacer. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
Keep it easy. But, yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, that sounds good. Ken's cruising for his mid January delivery. Alex is working on the Gen 4C contoured Lamias. I am working on my weekly drops and Mac projects. We have people coming in town at the end of January. Yeah, this is going to be a very good month. I think we're going to start strong. We're all going to find success. Alex, are you taking a pre-order for your Gen 4Cs, or what are you going to do with that?
Oh, I don't even know yet. I've got like 302 blades to like get through before I can even think about what method I'm going to sell these at. But yeah, I mean, I got 2 sheets of material. I got it all water jet. It came last week. I wasn't ready for it, and then I was like, okay, I guess I got to machine all of these blades and then send them out for heat treat because it doesn't make sense to split it up. I might as well send them all out together. So,
dude, that's so many blades, dude. That's so many blades. 300 blades?
Yeah, 302 blades. And the price of material was exactly, it's roughly the same as what I was paying for the crewwear.
Really?
Yeah.
302. You drop how many at a time? 100?
The last drop was 115. I think I'm going to back that off to just 100 or maybe 80 or something like that. I don't know. I might just do 100.
And that's like 6 or 8 weeks that takes you to do that many?
That one took about 5 weeks.
Damn. I'm doing it wrong, baby.
So good,
that's
dude.
Crazy.
So good. It's because you don't have fucking threads inside your frames, man. That's why.
Yeah,
I need to do that.
I should start doing that. If I could do 115 knives in 5 weeks to just threads on the inside of my frames, it's such an even trade.
There you go, dude. You take 30 weeks off.
You could hide and you only need three points. Let's get this straight. There's other companies that will not be named on this podcast that do more than 3 spots on their threads. I have found through research and sheer idiocy that 3 works, and luck, mostly luck, that 3 works, and you don't need to have like an insane thread engagement. 3 threads, that's all you need.
You're doing all your rotation off of pins anyways. You need one in the front, the back, and the lock bar. That's it. And if you don't have a lock bar,
that's all.
Inset,
I'll be curious.
Throw 2 in there.
I'll be curious to see when you start doing the aggressive contouring and you start to machine the rough the contouring in, and you're trying to make up time. Like, oh, I guess you've done it, so you know how long it takes, and it worked just fine. Must be nice.
107 inches a minute, I think, around the one, and then the other one was like, I want to say close to 123 inches a minute or something like that for the.
Oh, you ramped up even faster. I do like 70 inches a minute, 3,500 RPM for a 3/8 ball, but I guess you could increase the chip load and start feeding it faster. But I found that works pretty good.
The nice thing for that too, because unless you want like a deliberate scallop, if you're trying to go fairly smooth too, you can do that with a bull nose because there's no negative valleys in it.
That's true. And that's the thing. And I was thinking about doing that too, so I didn't have to change another tool. But yeah, I also do an aggressive step over because I want a 1 thou cusp height instead of a smaller cusp height.
I do 1/10 all day, baby. So wait, what's your step over then? If you're like 1 thou, what are you stepping over? Like 25?
22, 23, I think.
Nice.
And it gets done a lot faster.
The finishing of the contour certainly is the longest cycle on for sure. It's like probably 20 minutes. You'll have to send me a picture later of like what the 1 thou cusp height looks like. Yeah,
I'll send you a picture. I don't have any. I have blasted ones right now, but I mean, it's there, but it's not annoying, if that makes sense. Like it's there and it's not annoying. And I think 35 grit, you could probably blast it out. 60 grit, it'll show. 100 grit definitely shows.
How much stock are you leaving before you finish?
So mainly like when it's in the thing, I rough around the perimeter, do a ramp with a patch body, and then I come in. So I think there is 5 to 6 thou in the center, and then whatever thickness is on the outside, and I think it's like 30 thou maybe.
Damn,
25 to 30 thou.
And you find your finish is consistent, even though you're taking varying amounts of stock off of the surface when you're finishing.
Yeah.
Huh. I usually find that like if you're taking more, you know what I mean? It might leave a witness or it looks a little different.
And it's a decent, it's a light step over. But yeah, I had a dull tool in there, and I was like, and I was ripping on it, but like when I blasted all the coolant off, it was like there's rainbows on there, so it's like fairly good finish.
Oh, very nice.
Unless it's the tool. I don't know. It could be the tool.
The Cerazit tools are badass.
They are nice, and they're very affordable.
Yeah, I got to look into them, man. You've had good luck with them, and I'd be curious to see, if they perform outside of Western New York.
And I don't mean to brag about the ones that I have. Like I have the Pro. Like there's like a higher end line, and there's like a lower end line. I have the lower end line, which is like more affordable than Lakeshore and Harvey.
Really?
And right now, so all like let's just say my Tool 5, which is like my 3/16 bull nose with a 60 thou rad. So that machined out every single op 1, op 2, all of the clips that I currently ran, which was over 200 clips. And it's still going.
Who do you buy it through?
I buy mine through Syracuse Supply, but I can always buy extra and just like send some to you.
Yeah, I want to try some. So I want to see what they have. What they have.
But if you go to the ones that I actually use, I'll send you a link. But it's called ProMax Tools. They're in Sacramento, California. So Sarah Tizet went around and bought a bunch of companies in the United States, and that was one of them. And they have like the rake angle or the rake geometry and the helix angle geometry and all that stuff like on the tool, so you know what you're getting. And they have the tolerance that they grind everything to, which is nice.
The Sarah Tizet.
Whereas Harvey, Harvey doesn't have any of that stuff. And I used to use Harvey exclusively, but then switching to these guys, like the cost of the tool for as much wear as you can get out of it, or as much life as you can get out of it, is just it doesn't make sense to go with anything else.
I'd be curious, like what bull noses are you using through them?
I'm using 3/16, and it's a 60 thou rad, and then I also use the flat end mill.
What do they charge you for a 3/16 bull nose?
Let me check really quick. Let me check.
I'm curious about. I'm very, very curious about this. Yeah, I'd be interested in trying some other tooling options, just to be curious, if I could get some better tool life. Because obviously I'm using a lot of Lakeshore stuff, but if this is cheaper than Lakeshore, then I am willing to give it a shot. Do it.
So what year was this? This was 5/12/23. Where is the 30 thou rad or 60 thou rad? Sorry, that's a 4th flute, 3/16 shank, 4th flute. Well, I can tell you right now, like the 3/16 flat carbide 4 flute square end mill was $12.
Oh, wow. Uh-oh. What was that sound?
Killdozer.
Oh, there it is. It was $14 for the 3/16 corner rad, 60 thou corner rad. $14.
Literally the same cost as Lakeshore. So if it performs better, then that's a big win.
So $14.78.
Solid, man. I love it. All right, I'll have to figure out if they have a distributor near me, and I'll order some tools and try them out.
If they don't, let me know. And
they don't just sell them online, do they? Anywhere that we know?
No, they don't. They only go through distributors for Sarah Tizet stuff.
How did you find them?
So I use this company called Syracuse Supply for all of my tooling and stuff like that. And I also wanted to look into like hard milling the tabs off of my blades, or finding a better end mill for hard milling. And I ran into Sarah Tizet online, and then noticed that they're like pretty badass.
Uh-huh.
And then talked to my vendor, and he's like, oh yeah, there's a guy from Sarah Tizet that came in. I think we're going to pick them up. So then the next week he came in with the rep from Sarah Tizet and was like, here's the guy. And then the guy was like, yeah, I worked for this company for like, X amount of years. I also did this. And then he was like, I worked for this one company that did, engineering work for Corning glassware. And they basically had to like, I guess, machine this massive Inconel thing on this lathe because it was a mold for glass. And he brought the cycle time, I think, was like 8.5 hours for this thing. And he brought it down to like 3 hours. And then like got fired for doing that.
Well,
because everyone's like, it was like a union thing. I don't know. Really
get fired or killed by the union.
It was a weird thing. And then that company that portion of Corning ended up shutting down. Anyway, he knows his shit, and very cool guy to talk to. But it was a team effort getting those tools. And then he was like, yeah, we have a U.S. companies that we've been buying, and one of them is Promax, and so they use recycled carbide and all that stuff, kind of like
they're pretty much
what's
green.
that one company? Yeah, Kennametal. They use all their own carbide.
Nice. Well, very cool. Yeah, I look forward to checking that out. Cool. Well, I appreciate getting back in the groove. I found that this has become my sole outlet for like communication and engagement with other human beings throughout the week, and us taking 2 or 3 weeks off from doing it, it kind of like was detrimental to my mood. And so I'm glad to be back. I think that we should let's try and keep this rolling through all of 24, week to week.
Monday.
On Mondays. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to getting out of here because I'm, like I said at the beginning or before we started recording, I'm going to get another workbench today. And so
nice.
As if I didn't have enough space or no empty space in the shop, as it were, let's pack something else in here that is going to make it even more cluttered, because that's what we do. But actually, along those lines, next week I want to talk about I'm planning a shop expansion and starting to pull information together about adding on. So that is a big thing that I am starting to get together, and I'd love to hear your guys' feedback on what you think I may or may not need in this expansion. But
height, mezzanine. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually think I'm going to put a second story. I'm going to have shorter ceilings on that side and have like bonus trusses where I have a room upstairs, because I needed the 12-foot ceilings over here so that I could have a 10-foot garage door so I can get the machines in. But because there won't be any machines on that side, I can have lower ceilings and then have a second story. So that is kind of what I'm thinking, to have some office space or something over on that side. But yeah, that's something for another podcast. Anyways, appreciate everybody checking in.
Cool.
This is episode 21 coming to a close. As always, we appreciate you. Remember, we do have a Patreon. Link will be in the description. I'd like to think that by the end of January, I'm going to have a knife prepared for Lotto within the Patreon. So if you'd like to have significantly better odds than you probably do right now for getting a transient or probably a Lamia or maybe even a Datum Rev A,
for sure.
Join
I'll
the
do
Patreon,
one in there for sure.
And
I'll have some done by January.
Yeah, you have an extra one, so I think we might as well. Like whether we decide to do it as a group or if we decide to do them individually, whatever the case may be, it'll be valuable to be over in the Patreon. So thank you to those patrons that are already. The trio, baby. I've heard people say that. I'm working towards getting the trio. But yeah, cool. Do you guys have anything else you want to add?
No, I'm good.
No, I mean, the only thing is, like, I appreciate you guys and appreciate all the help that you've given me this year, whether it be listening or, advice in general. So thank you.
My pleasure, man. I found our group to be a pretty invaluable asset to me. I think that the three of us represent a varied array of approaches and ideas, and I think that we balance each other well. And so I look forward to continuing to grow this year and share with you guys everything that I have in store and to find success both together and individually. So thank you very much. I appreciate you also.
Yeah, for sure. Cool, dude.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get stepping and go pick me up this workbench. I'll catch up with you next week.
Good.
Later
dude. See you guys.
See ya.